The Nile, the longest river on the planet and birthplace of ancient civilizations. It's a complex and delicate ecological system that for thousands of years has nourished, sustained and even brought wealth to millions of people. But it's not as it once was. Nowadays the great river rarely floods the surrounding lands, making them fertile and productive. The volume of water is less than before. Increasing use of irrigation systems along the banks is making the problem even worse. All across the region, an army of simple water pumps is sucking up millions of cubic meters of water for the crop fields. The system of pumps operating independently from each other is not efficient, however. It's costly in environmental terms too. That's something the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, in collaboration with a number of European countries, is trying to address. The Nile Basin Water Resources Project aims to help 10 countries along the river manage this precious commodity. Abdel Said El Magbouli is responsible for irrigation improvement.
This project is trying to reduce water loss and to distribute it more fairly. We're replacing thousands of these small pumps with centralized ones. The machinery is managed by a computer program. The result will be agriculture making less demands on the water supply and an extension of productive lands.
The project was launched in 2004 and is intended to run until next year. Italy is taking a lead role financing the initiative. Local technicians are being trained and farmers' associations have been set up to eventually take control of water management in their areas. The scheme relies just as much on regional knowledge and experience as foreign expertise. Farmers appreciate having a big input and say they're already seeing the benefits.
I own around 12 hectares of land. With this new system, I need only half the water I used before, and productivity has gone up by 20%.
The Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that if everything goes to plan and the project hits its targets, around 56 million Egyptians who depend on the river will get increased productivity from their land. It's not just the small farmers who are getting in on the act. Major industrial producers have also been quick to see the potential of an improved water management system. It's generally recognized that modernization is long overdue. Mahmoud El Hosseini is a manager at one large-scale agriculture company.
This irrigation irrigates about 222 acres. As you see, it's one of the most modern stations in the agriculture in Egypt. All the work here done by the computers. You just put the quantities and the time in the computer, and the computer will do whatever you write in the program.
The company has 6,500 hectares of agricultural land to cater for. The water is filtered to reduce some organic elements. It's distributed through a labyrinthine network that nourishes not only the roots of crops, but also of trees. Sherif El Makabri is chairman of the Mafa Agricultural Group.
With the modern irrigation is you give the plant only as much as it needs, with the least amount of difficulty to the plant. So instead of suffering to draw water out of the ground, it puts all its energy in producing fruit. And thus fruit is money, and thus the farmer is much happier. The income generated by 1 acre under modern irrigation is 3 times at least what it is with flood irrigation.
The FAO initiative is expected to have long-term positive benefits on the country's economy. According to the Agriculture Council of Egypt, 1 cubic metre of water in the traditional management system accounts for an output of around less than 1 euro cent. Under the modernised version, it's about 2.5 euros. But efforts to increase the efficiency of water supply and management go beyond agriculture. It touches on urban life, particularly in Cairo, where demographic changes have pushed the capital's population up to 16 million. The international community is helping with the problems the boom has brought. Abdel Fattah Matawi from the Water Resources Ministry explains.
From Holland, we have introduced the subsurface drainage because they are pioneers in subsurface drainage. With France, we deal with water control structures and the automation of water structures. And with Italy, we do a lot of capacity building in many of the schools, agronomic institutes, water resources institutes. So we deal with each country according to his expertise, and we try to get this expertise and implement it here in Egypt. So this is some type of the benefits which Egypt is very much interested from Europe. In the meantime, I think the European Union and the European countries and so on are very much interested in having peace and stability in our region here.
While the Nile Basin project is said to be completed by 2008, it could be extended if needed. The FAO says efforts to save the Nile will not stop with this initiative. The problems being addressed here aren't restricted to this great river. Similar solutions are required around the world. Just days ahead of World Water Day, the FAO has warned that if nothing is done, by 2050 almost 2 billion people, around a third of humanity, will not have access to drinking water.